Yes, Merry Christmas Eve to you all. As you can see, I've got John Murphy's rendition of that brilliant John Williams theme on repeat. I can't stop listening to it. And if you're wondering, there will be a special Christmas Day video from Movies TV Mad tomorrow. But it looks like James Gunn isn't going to allow us content creators to have Christmas off. And I'm here for it. The guy is obviously as excited as we are. The other day he wished us all Merry Christmas. I thought, that's it. No more news. I can relax for Christmas. But yesterday he was back. First of all, he confirmed, well, the Hollywood Reporter told us, but then they took it down. Then James Gunn confirmed it, that Creature Commandos, surprisingly, is getting a series 2. And I'm here for it. Although I haven't been able to watch it because of where I am, I've been watching all of Boba Talk's reviews, Emergency Awesome's reviews about it. It seems like a great show. I'm here for it. I'm happy that Creature Commandos, the first entry point of DCU, is getting a second series. It's been a great week for the DCU. It's been a great week if you're a genuine DC fan and love good things. And I'm so still hyped over that trailer. I have so many thoughts about that trailer. But that is breaking news that Creature Commandos has been renewed for a second series before the first series has even ended. So that's really good. But James Gunn didn't stop there, because a fan asked him why he hasn't announced a Wonder Woman movie and a Flash movie. And this is what James had to say. He said, we're holding a beat on a Flash movie, but what does holding a beat actually mean? Don't ask me, but most people are telling me holding a beat means they're holding off on a Flash movie, most probably because the last Flash movie was a disaster. Now, personally, I don't think that really matters. I don't think you need to hold off from a Flash movie because of that, because you're going to do something new and original. And just looking at that Superman trailer, if that's the way we're going, then I'm sure James Gunn can nail a Flash movie. Now, so it looks like we're not going to be getting a Flash movie anytime soon. It looks like from that Creature Commandos Easter egg, they're going with Wally West, and I'm here for it. But just because they're holding a beat, they're holding off of making a Flash movie, it doesn't mean that we won't see Wally West's The Flash in other DCEU media. Oh, let me say that again. Other DCU media. So he may turn up in the Superman movie. He may turn up in Series 2 of Creature Commandos or Lanterns or whatever. So I still think we're going to see Wally West in DCU media coming soon. He's just not going to be getting his own movie for now. But James Gunn didn't mention Wonder Woman. Now we know they're doing a Paradise Lost Max streaming show. So he didn't say anything. Does that mean there isn't a Wonder Woman movie in development? No. Maybe by not mentioning it, it means there is a Wonder Woman movie in development. It's pretty clear now that Gal Gadot will not be James Gunn's Wonder Woman. So they are your updates. But that's not really what I wanted to talk about today. I want to talk about Matt Reeves' Batman and why Robert Pattinson's Batman shouldn't be the DCU Batman. Now, some people are desperate for James Gunn to bring Rob over as that Batman. Now, James Gunn inherited a problem, a pre-existing Batman, a movie franchise. That's not his fault. I don't think that Matt Reeves' Batman is a problem. I really enjoyed the first movie. It's clear with what James is saying that at this moment in time, Robert Pattinson's Batman is in no shape or form coming over to the DCU, and there doesn't seem to be an intention before the Batman 2 is released to bring him over to the DCU. but there's a lot of talk. You know, we keep on hearing different scoopers telling us that James Gunn wants Robert Pattinson's Batman as part of the DCU, that he's trying to convince Matt Reeves to do it. Now, I told you that ages and ages ago, and I also told you that's why, you know, Brave and the Bold was holding off from development. So James has got a bit of a problem, because James probably knows it's a bit problematic to have two Batmen, but he wants his own Batman in the DCU. So this is why I think you can't have Matt Reeves, Robert Pattinson Batman in the DCU. James Gunn announced his own Batman in a Brave and a Bold movie, and he told us this would be a more fantastical Batman, a more fantastical Batman movie. I appreciate all the grounded, you know, efforts for a more grounded Batman, whether it's Nolan's Batman, whether it's Reeves' Batman. I do think that Tim Burton's Batman was slightly more fantastical, especially in Batman Returns, and I appreciated that as well. I still feel that we may see James Gunn's Batman in his Superman movie. We have had a Batman Easter egg also in Creature Commandos, and there was this whole thing about how his collar is similar to Pattinson's collar. I don't know. We may get an absolute shocker, and Robert Pattinson's Batman cameos in James Gunn's Superman movie. But he's such a grounded Batman, and as we've seen from this trailer already, you know, this Superman movie is utterly fantastical. Yes, he's bleeding out of his mouth and stuff like that, but he's also fighting a kaiju. He's also got a super dog plying through the snow and dragging him through the snow in the Arctic. That's pretty fantastical to me. And I'm looking forward to a more fantastical DC franchise. I love imagination. I love escapism. I appreciate Zack Snyder's grounded DCEU. I really do. But I do think it's time for more fantastical DC. I think we are now here to allow our imaginations, we're ready for our imaginations to run away with us. And I don't see how you bring Robert Pattinson's Batman, a really grounded Batman, to a fantastical universe, because James Gunn's not suddenly, you know, going to make a more grounded DCU. Now, he said his Superman movie is grounded. It is, but it's clear that his Superman movie is also utterly fantastical. This is probably going to be the most fantastical Superman movie we've ever seen. And, you know, in Creature Commandos, we've got Cersei, who can wield magic, or whatever she can do, right? Or she's certainly got certain powers, fantastical powers. So, and I'm sure we're going to get a Zatanna. Look, James Gunn is going to populate this DC universe, and he's going to be very, very comic book accurate. And I think he's going very, very Silver Age, which is very exciting as well. And so I just don't see how Matt Reeves, Rob Pattinson Batman fits in to the DCU. So I do feel we're going to see a Batman cameo in this movie. I don't think Batman plays a huge part in this movie, but I think he will set up Batman. If he wants, look, he has to quell all these rumours, and the best way to quell these rumours, because nobody actually believes him when he says, well, you know, Matt Reeves, the Batman, isn't part of the DCU. No one seems to believe that, no matter how many times James says it. And he needs to say it because he doesn't want to upset Matt Reeves. Matt Reeves is doing his own thing. His Batman movie was highly successful. His Penguin TV show was outstanding. I criticised it in avenues, but I did enjoy watching it. And, you know, the audience scores were outstanding. So Matt Reeves is cooking. And clearly, Robert Pattinson is a very popular Batman. It will be easy for James to bring over a popular Batman, but he's going to upset people if he does that. He wouldn't just be upsetting Matt Reeves, but clearly they're continuing discussions on what to do. Because I think there's no question. There's rumours of Matt Reeves getting more and more responsibilities over at DC Studios. So it's clear that James enjoys working with Matt, and why wouldn't you? Matt just wants to cook. Matt isn't a problematic guy. He just wants to take his time and make his art. And I appreciate creatives like that. I wouldn't be upset. I'm not saying I'm against it. I'm saying I don't see how it works if Rob Pattinson's Batman joins the DCU, because he's so grounded and James Gunn is developing a more fantastical universe. I'm not against it, but I do feel I don't see how it's going to work, and I think that's a very, very interesting situation. And it is an interesting, fascinating situation how this is resolved. But I do think we will see Batman in this Superman movie. And yeah, I'd love to know what you think about this. Do you want to see Rob Pattinson's Batman in the DCU? Now, finally, I just want to go over this Superman movie in that trailer again. Now, if you cast your minds back when we first saw the costume reveal, I warned you all to be very careful how you criticised the costume, because I said the reality is there was a reason why it was so loosely fitting on some versions of David Cornsworth. And I predicted that there would be a Superman clone in this movie. Now, if you cast your minds to the trailer, to the ending of the trailer, Lois and what appears to be Superman, which I don't think is Superman, are standing by the window while that alien thing, whatever it is, that orb thing outside is doing its thing. Now, if you notice something, she's not holding his hand, she's holding his arm, like they're in this plutonic thing. I think this Ultraman is a clone created by Lex Luthor. I think he captures Superman and he tries to get this clone Superman to replace him. I think Lois figures it out pretty quickly that it's not Superman. And I think this clone admits he's not Superman. And from being a bad version of Superman, Lois Lane probably helps him become a better version of Superman. And maybe even Lois starts forming a relationship with him. Not romantic, but starts to like him, which conflicts Lois between her feelings with him and Superman. Now, I had a little theory the other day that maybe our Superman, the real Superman, dies. And this clone Superman replaces the real Superman. Or this clone Superman sacrifices himself in the end. I think one of these Supermen is going to die in this movie. I've been talking about Superman potentially dying in this movie for the longest of times, but maybe it's the clone Superman who actually sacrifices himself. And I think, again, very, very interesting. If you look at this trailer, there's so many aspects to it, but I'm not one of those people that's concerned with all these DC characters in this movie. There's 15 characters in this movie, major characters that will be playing a huge role. That's the hugest main cast in a Superman movie ever. But it doesn't concern me because I feel, as James has said, they are part of Superman's arc. They're not there to distract from Superman's story. They're there to add to Superman's story. And I think they are there to see how they register with people. You know, if people like these characters, if people like Mr. Terrific, you could get a Mr. Terrific movie or a streaming show. And I think that's the reason as well. But I'm not concerned about that. But there does seem to be a lot of elements to this movie. Lots of interesting elements to this movie. But certainly, I don't have any nitpicks, any issues with this trailer. This trailer eased some of my concerns. Not all of my concerns, but it did ease a lot of my concerns, because months and months before I saw this trailer, I spoke to you every day about my concerns about this movie, my concerns about James Gunn writing and directing a Superman movie. But seeing that trailer, listening to his quotes before the trailer was released, I did start to see that maybe he's going to give us a very interesting examination on Superman.